Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bit of a different video. We are both going on a bit of a discussion about Monster Hunter, the series we both enjoy.
Spider.
I have played through almost all of the Monster Hunter games. Blondie Chew's played through a couple too. And we both enjoy them. To a point at least.
To a point.
I got into the series I think before you did because my first Monster Hunter game was Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP.
Oh
And
yeah,
I played that like
definitely
10 years
before
ago.
me.
I played that about 10 years ago and I finished the game. I mean, I even beat Fatalis, the final dragon. If I remember right, it was in Unite, but I could be mixing it up with another game. And I had over 1,400 hours on that. I played the hell out of it.
I started on Monster Hunter World.
A lot of people got into it because of Monster Hunter World, because it was such a big thing on PS4.
And it was done so well.
It really was. I like the way they sort of integrated your more open areas compared to the older games, which had you have loading screens between areas. It was a very
quite
different
nice.
kind of game.
Yeah, and it had like a good compelling story. I liked some of the outfits, but then I was kind of sad when I had to give some of them up to go to the next outfits.
Yeah. And now you have, because when the game first came out, you couldn't transmog your outfits, so you couldn't make your outfits look like other outfits. Now you can. But people don't know the struggle. In the older games, you couldn't do that at all.
Yeah, I kind of I like it when I get like a certain outfit, then I really fall in love with it. But now you get like the upgraded version now, which I have in like Monster Hunter Wilds, where it's an upgraded one, like plus or something. But now I had to either unlock a way to get the previous outfit that I liked, or it wasn't there.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I think a complaint I have about Monster Hunter Worlds is that they didn't bring back a lot of the older monsters. They did eventually add more and more monsters with like Iceborne, but originally the game didn't have as many monsters as a lot of the previous games.
I wouldn't really know that, but I've heard chatter about like a dragon or something, and I can't remember what it was, but they wanted it brought back. It was some like really strong dragon kind of monster or something.
I can't remember if the Fatalis was in the game at base or if it was only added later on. But just to compare, Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, that's it. It was Fatalis.
It was Fatalis, yeah. Because I know there's 3 variants of Fatalis. I can't remember which ones were in World, but I'm pretty sure all 3 were eventually. But if you want to compare like your older games to World at launch had 36 large monsters, which were classified as like your dragons. You compare that to the previous game, Monster Hunter Generations. If I'm right, Generations did come out before World, but I could be wrong. Generations had 93 dragons. Freedom Unite, which was on the PS3, had 58 dragons, compared to World, which only had 36. That was a big issue I had with it, because they really cut down the amount of monsters.
I actually never completed Monster Hunter World. I think I got up to like the ice area the last time I played it. And it was like one of the further along story parts, and then I think I encountered the boss of that area, and I could not defeat it. And I was just like ramming my head into a wall because I could not kill this thing. That I eventually just rage quit, and I was like, I'll come back later, and then I think another game got me, and then I just forgot about it.
I beat the base Monster Hunter plenty times. It was only a couple of years ago I actually got Iceborne and beat it. And it's definitely a lot more difficult. Like, just the first few monsters in the snow area kick your ass so badly.
Yeah, some of these.
I still remember the Final Fantasy event. in Monster Hunter.
They had a Final Fantasy collab.
They did. You had what is the fucking gem in Final Fantasy, Mithril or whatever?
Oh
They
yeah.
had one of the, you know, the monster that always picks up rocks, that
Oh
like
yeah,
bird monster.
there's a few.
It picked up a
actually.
thing of Mithril and it grew. So in game it was like the size of a dragon, and you had to kill it. It was really difficult. And then that all led up eventually to the Behemoth as a boss. And I kid you not, anything in base Monster Hunter is not as hard as the Behemoth. It is
Well, it's
such a
Final
difficult fight.
Fantasy you're collabing with. Final Fantasy
Yeah.
is not. They're not ashamed to throw in a boss that no one can beat and just be like, "You'll get it." And then you get me rage quit, and I'm just like, "Final Fantasy, asshole! I can't finish the story."
The Behemoth is meant for 4 hunters to fight, not 1. So that's why it's so difficult. My crowning achievement is beating the Behemoth solo. It even had an upgraded version called the Extreme Behemoth, or the people in the community called it the Extremeth. I could never beat that solo. That was brutal, and people have. Like, it takes 40 minutes or so, but you can beat it solo. You just gotta deal something ridiculous like 2,000 damage a minute.
Perfect. So it's basically like minding your time, trying to make sure you get damage in without getting damage to yourself.
And it has arena destroying attacks, especially Extremeth, that can just one-shot you. It is so difficult. And then Iceborne, there's even a Witcher event in Monster Hunter. There's a lot of events.
They do a lot of collabs by the sounds of it.
You could get an outfit from Horizon Zero Dawn. You could get, if I remember right, you could get Dante from Devil May Cry as an outfit too.
It'd be funny if they did one with Pokemon.
God.
Imagine what would pop out from that. You have some nightmare fuel in there if you actually look at Pokemon.
It's also terrible because in Pokemon you don't really kill anything. In Monster Hunter you just kill everything.
In Pokemon, like, they look all cute and everything, but if you actually had to make them look like proper monsters, some of them would actually come out really terrifying
Oh,
looking.
they'd be terrifying. I know when they did the Witcher collab, the monster they brought over from the Witcher was the Leshen. And it's like this root monster that you fight in the Witcher. And in Monster Hunter, it looks terrifying. Like, it's a scary looking creature.
That's the point.
Even the Behemoth, it looks mean as hell in Monster Hunter because you actually get quite close to it.
Well, you kind of have to.
Well, yeah. I can actually show you what it looks like in Monster Hunter because it looks quite different from in Final Fantasy. But yeah, I enjoyed Monster Hunter World. I just wished it wasn't so limited with the amount of monsters. Feels like they focused on the world too much and they didn't focus on the variety of monsters.
The thing is, Monster Hunter World had, like, they didn't have an open world. They had sections that you could go and hunt in.
Yeah.
And that area was only so big. If they just kept spamming, like, 50 monsters to 20 to 100 monsters in that one area, it wouldn't work and it would probably get laggy and chachas because you don't know what the frick's gonna pop up anymore.
Well, that's the problem, eh? Like, that's why the previous games got away with having multiple monsters, because they had a lot of areas, and they were always broken up by loading screens. So you'd go to an area and it would have 12 zones, which you could fight in. And it always broke them up. Made it a lot easier to run.
But yeah, with like the area thing, like, it would just get too complicated if they introduced like 100 or 50 monsters in one area, because it'll be harder for farming and you don't know what's going to spawn when or how or what conditions have to be met for something to spawn.
Look, even in the older games, you only could have a few monsters spawn in an area at a time. It just had more variety in the missions. I mean, they were way more difficult missions. There's even this one in Monster Hunter Double Cross that's a giant spider. It's really fucking difficult.
Monster Hunter Wilds is also a spider-like thing.
I think it's
Gives
the
you a
same
cool
one.
outfit. I love the outfit it gave. It gave this really cool kind of dress. But then like I look at my Palico and they also gave it a dress, and I'm like, that's based off my dog. That's a boy,
Yeah, it
and
doesn't
they just
quite fit.
gave the helmet's like a wig, and the outfit's a dress. So he looked a little out of place.
In Monster Hunter, what's your go-to weapon type?
Ooh, heck, I can't remember the. So my main weapon, I think, is a bow. No, it's not. It's not the gun thing. It's that one that's. It's like a blade on one side, and the other side's like this big
The
thingy that you like
glaive?
could propel yourself up.
Insect, you use the insect glaive.
Like yes, that's my main
Ridiculous,
weapon.
ridiculous. Can't be friends anymore. That's it.
My second main weapon, if I do use it, is dual blades.
Okay, dual blades I can respect. Dual blades are good. I've always been either a heavy bowgun or sword and shield.
So what's wrong with using the insect one now?
Because
What's wrong with it?
because it's overpowered. Well, it's overpowered with how I've seen some people use it. Like I know some of the methods to get the fastest kills on monsters use the glaive because it's got a high skill ceiling.
I liked it because if I remembered the correct buttons, I could at least put some poison on my enemy, but my main reason was because flying enemies are very hard to attack, and I struggled to get traps or anything to work. So for me, it was able to help give me that boost up in the air to attack or mount a monster, which I couldn't get whenever I used other weapons.
That's fair. That's why I like the bowgun. Because it let me stay back a bit, especially if you're playing in a group. I used to play support a lot. So I could always heal my teammates with my bowgun. I never understood how people can use the bow. The bow's terrible.
I don't like to use the guns or bows or anything like that because that thing's coming at me all the time. I kind of need to be attacking face on.
I got
And
really good at it.
I suck at my aim, which just makes me waste ammo. And I get so frustrated because it's not unlimited. You have to keep making it. So it felt not very necessary for someone with terrible aim.
See, that's also like a big difference between the newer and the older gen. Because in the older games, the fighting's a little more slow. Like it's a lot more clunkier, so it's a lot slower paced. And that's why bowgun's really overpowered. In something like Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, I main the bowgun throughout the entire game because it's a slow weapon, but you're moving slowly and it does a lot of damage. In Worlds, it leans itself to much faster gameplay, which isn't bad, but it also takes away from the older strategic side of it.
In World, those monsters are coming at you every second that they can move.
Exactly.
They don't give you time to think or lay down and just like, okay, if I can just aim and then you're gone.
On another note, certain weapons are just bad. Like, I don't know how people can use the lance or the gun lance.
I can't do the long sword.
Yeah, the great sword.
Because I'm spamming attack, and while you're trying to charge up just to move this heavy ass blade,
yes,
I get clubbed, fold, and die. And I'm like, I didn't even get a swing because by the time I get a swing, it moved away.
Yes,
it's not fair.
Again, it's because like Worlds and Rise and that they're a lot faster games, so your slow weapons don't work as well.
Yeah, I can't do heavy weapons. Something else I love to do in Worlds is when I first played the game, I don't know what kind of spawning magic I found, but I was usually able to find, like, in my point of view, the shiny Pokemon. Those, like, one-of-a-kind rare ones in the midst of those normal little creatures that you get for your room.
Yes, I loved catching creatures.
I loved catching them, but then I went on, like, a hunt. After I found out I'd found quite a few rare ones, I was like, I should just get them all. But then, like, eventually I lost the game, and now when I got it again, I went on a whole freaking shiny hunt, and I could barely find them. And I think like the one thing I used to find all the time was like those rabbits. You got that pink one, which was the rare one.
Yes.
I would constantly be looking for them.
I used to love it because just going to all the different areas to try and find the most unique little creatures for your room.
Yeah, and in that first area, there was like a rainbow beetle or something like that that you could only get, I think, at dusk or dawn, and like certain weather, and I would have to like run there, grab it, and then it's done. Same with fish, like size wise, and
I was never a fan of the fishing because it just felt like it took too long.
I think I like the Aurora. I think it was the Aurora fish because it reminded me of a fish I used to have that, or like a fish species I really like that's pretty called the beta fish.
Yeah.
And they look like they're wearing like kind of a dress. So
Yes,
there's
I
like
know
one
exactly
in
what you're talking about.
you know what I'm talking about. There's
I
like
do know
one
what you're
in
talking about.
Yeah, the one in Monster Hunter, the Aurora or whatever it was called. Like it was close enough, and I think you could get a gold one as well. So I would go get the gold one.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to get like all the unique little creatures. And then when I got wild, I was also looking for all the unique creatures.
Still need to
But
play Wilds.
I don't think there was an area for me to put them last time I checked.
If
Like
you
you have like a tent and that's it. You don't have anywhere to put your creatures or a house. But your Monster Hunter Wilds, you don't really have an area or a home in a sense, like you did in Monster Hunter Worlds, where you could just let all your fish and your thingies be free. So yeah, that's one thing I gotta say with Wilds. I wasn't that chuffed about.
Yeah, I prefer going back to the older games now. I find a lot more enjoyment. Like Worlds is fun, but I only enjoy Worlds if I'm going to play it with other people. I don't enjoy it alone like I do with the other games.
Yeah. I find a lot of the older games kind of just give you more what you're looking for with certain things. Like some new games that come out, they do give you what you were looking for and everything like that, but then lately it just feels like a lot of the older games are giving you more what you're actually looking for in a game.
Yeah.
I think if anything I have a rant about, it's the movie. That was freaking terrible.
It was terrible. It was really fucking bad.
And they even made it, I think, an animated one. Or maybe I'm thinking of like some other thing.
Maybe. I actually have a little bit of information about the movie. Now, the movie is made by... Let me just find the exact name. Paul W.S. Anderson. This director is well known because he did the Resident Evil movies, the older ones. And his wife is Mila Jovovich, which is the main actress of the movie, and she's the main actress of the Resident Evil movies. He basically just makes movies so he can put his wife in them.
I didn't enjoy it that much. Like, I think some of the graphics are pretty good for like some of the monsters. But I don't remember really seeing the cats or like the canteen food wise or I can't remember much because I kind of dodged the movie after watching a bit of it because it wasn't that entertaining.
And the whole idea of going to another world and that being Monster Hunter, I don't like. Like, if they're going to make a movie, just set it in the world. Don't have it be a group of American military that gets lost in there. I hate that. It was so bad.
And I love that you get like a little feline character and everything. Like you can make a whole story about that. Even like one of the feline, I forget what they're called right now because my mind's blank. Your little feline character, what they called, like their species.
Your Palico.
Palico, thank you. Like, imagine a movie is the Palico is the main character following around their hunter.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be an interesting spin?
Or even a TV series based on it could do so well. You have World, you have a good story from Monster Hunter World, just adapt that.
Yeah, they do the stories and everything, so like it's something that they can adapt on. Like even Monster Hunter World has a story, and it's a freaking good story.
Yeah, it is really good. I think Iceborne isn't as good, but it's still quite good.
Like I say, I haven't really gotten fully through Iceborne, just mostly Monster Hunter World to a point.
I must say though, Iceborne's final boss is better than regular Monster Hunter World's final boss.
I think the only Monster Hunter I've actually finished is literally Wilds. Which kind of makes me happy, but at the same time, while we're discussing this, like Final Fantasy and Monster Hunter Worlds, it makes me think they went easy on me.
They probably did. The thing is,
games nowadays are getting a bit too easy for people.
even with World, the real challenge isn't in the story. It's in the other quests you can do other than the story, like your advanced quests.
Because I struggle with monsters. That's where Final Fantasy kind of screwed me over a lot in completing the game. So when I think about Monster Hunter World, did the same thing. They gave me monsters. I just couldn't fight. My gear was even like, I maxed out the gear and I still could not freaking kill this thing.
No, some of them do get really difficult.
Exactly. And now I'm thinking about like Monster Hunter World. Yeah, I struggled, but I finished the game. Which I don't know how to feel about this. Like, should I feel proud or should I feel insulted because they've been making games more kid-friendly?
You should still feel proud because I doubt it's easy to finish the game. No matter what, the final bosses of Monster Hunter games are always pretty difficult.
Yeah, but that's the point. They're very difficult, and I struggle with difficult. That's why I don't know how to feel about this.
You just got better at it, that's all.
Yeah, I think that till I went back and played busy playing Spyro New Beginnings PlayStation 2 game, and I got stuck on a freaking ship.
Okay, the PS2 games in that were really difficult. The older games are difficult.
It was actually on, like, you have apes, they're all fighting you, they're all apes. Then you have, like, a little higher than that. Then you have a higher one than that. I was on the 3rd tier of higher level ones. And only 2 came out. And they kept killing me. Over and over and over and over again. Until I found a tutorial online.
They wanted you to suffer.
Yes! I was mainly using my fire breath until I went online on a tutorial. And it was like, you could use your electricity to just help guide them along off the edge, right? That's how I got through the level. That's the only way you can get through that level, is just shoving them off with electricity, because there's no way. They're too strong. You can't upgrade your health. Your health is set.
That's what makes it difficult.
Exactly. So, like, it kind of makes me wonder, like, our games nowadays are a bit,
They definitely are getting easier. Monster Hunter World is a lot easier than the older games.
It's like as they get generations up, it's either we're getting a little better or they're just dumbing it down a bit more for us and everyone else, and it kind of feels nice, but at the same time, it kind of feels like they just don't think we can beat their game at the full level.
You want some sort of challenge, you know? That's why I wasn't a fan of Raz, because Raz I didn't think was difficult at all.
Listen, I don't mind them taking off the challenge for me, because a challenge is very difficult, but at the same time, it just makes me feel like I'm the dumbed down version.
I think it should just be an option if you want the game to be easier or harder.
Yeah, easy, normal, or hard.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks everybody. That is for today's conversation.
A discussion, let's say.
Discussion on Monster Hunter. And if you have any thoughts, please leave them down below in the comments. Please like this video, help us get our videos out there more. Subscribe for more videos, pretty please. Yes. And we will see you in the next video. Bye!
Bye!